Evolution is a funny thing. Just think about goosebumps. When do you get them? Maybe you watch something scary, you're frightened, cold, get that weird sense of deja vu. But overall, goosebumps are a signal for us to know that our body is reacting to something. Maybe it triggers a fight or flight response where we get warmer or leave a situation. In evolutionary terms, mammals develop the goosebumps to raise our hairs or fur to block the wind and cold. I can tell you in Toronto, we do not rely on our fur to protect us from winter's chill. Indeed, we as evolved humans don't need goosebumps for our survival, yet it hasn't completely phased out of our human reaction. There are other areas of the human body that are evolving due to phones and generally screens and handheld devices. And that's what we will be talking about today on We Are the Machines. Welcome to We Are the Machines. I'm Dr. Sawh. This podcast is for those who want to use artificial intelligence. Through anecdotes and phrases, you'll be fluent in AI in front of the executive team and at the dinner party. I explain how machines learn in the context of human learning and arm you with the right questions to be asking the machines or those who are building your business machines. You will sound like an AI rock star by the end of each episode. Let's get started. The Industrial Revolution was a pivotal step in the Homo sapien experience. We became sedentary, akin to a forest of monkeys forced to sit in a box for days. They are not themselves, and nor are we. Now we are living the next step in the human experience, becoming digitized. Because if work does not require movement, then we sit. And when work or actions do not require our independent thought, then we do not feel. And humans need to feel in order to know. Alas, today's episode is not about the alterations our brains are undergoing to adapt to the digital world. I think I've beaten that one over the head enough anyway in the past episodes. Today, we are going to talk about the impacts of a digitized world on our human bodies. These observations are collected from academic journals and medical professionals. What I'm about to discuss is not fact. It's a forecast of what could happen to the humans based on our current behaviors. And maybe not to you, listeners, but the next or the next generations. Let's begin with the text claw. The text claw is the shape of your hand as it forms around your phone when you are texting. Try it, and you can feel your hand cramping as your thumb texts, and maybe some wrist soreness. Okay, that's you as an adult. Now I want for you to think about growing bodies, youths, with their hands permanently around their phones when they walk home from school or hang out with their friends, etc. They are literally growing with their hand around the device and developing a text claw. Okay, let's talk about another physical impact story through an activity. For those of you who are walking and listening to this, I want for you to look up and around you. First, observe how your neck feels as your spine is awash with relief from straightening. Now, observe outwards. See the other people walking around you. More than half of them have their heads down, right? And if you are listening to this at your desk or on the train, how about you lift your neck as well? Maybe you aren't looking at a phone, but is your screen set down or straight? Our necks were not built for this pressure. In fact, smartphones and generally handheld devices require FHP, forward head posture. And think about this. For every inch of FHP, you are carrying another 10 pounds supported by cervical spine and musculoskeletal structure. 10 pounds. And the angle at which people look at their phones causes more than 10 pounds of weight. Don't believe me? Then you should test this theory. Try walking around the house with a 10-pound weight hanging from your neck, and then put down that weight and walk around the house with your neck at the same angle. Ouch. Indeed, we will be keeping our physiotherapists, osteopaths, and chiropractors in business for a long time. And finally, the weirdest one, but you won't be surprised by this, is the potential for our eyelids to grow a second layer to protect itself from the light of the screen. You see, we weren't built to sit and stare at screens. So how does this impact the workplace? Well, a happy worker is a happy workplace. Ergonomic assessments of working at home and in the workplace will benefit the workers from being grumpy after staring at a screen for too long. In terms of prevention, well, the main recommendations are dedicated time away from the screen and physical exercise. But ultimately, we need our phones for work, to communicate, to do our banking. So here's a solution. How about enabling voice to text when using your apps? And to the developers out there, focus on voice to text solutions versus icon oriented user interfaces to relieve the eyes and thumbs for even a minute. Notably, the adoption of voice to text has been slow, despite the existence of the technology for several years. Now is the time to adopt that and make it pervasive. So that way, we don't develop these text clause posture. Yes, listeners, we are evolving and adapting to the digital world. But at this point in the technology cycle, we have an opportunity to make the machines adapt to us. I felt a chill. Thank you for listening to We Are the Machines. I'm Dr. Sawh.